Warning, this is a review of Castle-Mania. That would be episode 68 of Friendship is Magic. No audio, video clips from the episode in question are being used in the making of this review, seeing that they belong to Hasbro Studios and DHX Media. Now, enough talk. Rate, favorite, comment, subscribe. How about you? Finally our catch-up is about to come to a close with the second or third, if you're counting each episode as an individual, episode for the season, Castle-Mania. Now, granted, this episode picks up right after the end of the season opener, so I would suggest, and yes, this is the part where I'm about to spoil the entire episode for you, so if you haven't seen it, go see it, but I would suggest to watch the season 4 opener first, both parts 1 and 2, or you can always wait till tomorrow until I give you my proper review on how the opener went. But on to Castle-Mania. Castle-Mania starts out with, oddly, a bet between Rainbow Dash and Applejack. Looks like Fall Weather Friends Part D is underway as they try to figure out who's the most daring pony with Pinkie Pie keeping score, or whatever it is she keeps. It happens to be a dead-on tie in Pinkie Pie's mind, so they look for something more entertaining to do. But it all centers around Twilight's research into the mysterious box at the end of the season 4 opener. She can't find anything at home, so with Celestia's advice, she heads off to her and Luna's old castle in the Everfree Forest looking for information. She nearly has a nerdgasm looking at the size of the library and the books they're in and starts digging around for information. Applejack and Rainbow Dash end up there as part of their bet to see who can stay in the castle overnight, while Fluttershy and Rarity are there for a different reason. Rarity wants to find tapestries to restore the proper glory, while Fluttershy's just helping her out and tagging along. But Pinkie says she's off to ring the school bell, so we don't think we're going to see her the entire episode. Twilight and all are digging around for books, finds the Journal of the Royal Sisters, and starts doing her usual reading thing, while the rest of the Omni Five fall into the castle's old decor, breaking down as it may be. The castle, according to an excerpt that Twilight reads aloud to us from the journal, is filled with practical joke traps aplenty. And boy, do each of the rest of her friends fall into these traps. Sliding doors, switches, trap doors at the bottom, spooky armor, and most notably a pipe organ that opens to the outside of the castle. That has of course seen better days. Spike is of course tripping out by the whole thing, but Twi is rather oblivious. Rainbow Dash and Applejack continue their bet to see who's least scared, while Fluttershy and Rarity are looking for the travesties and, most importantly, a missing angel who ends up with Spike and Twilight right in the end. What follows is what many compare to Scooby-Doo series of traps, but I don't really see it that way. It's more of a Johnny Quest sort of trap set. Maybe old school horror movies like The Goonies perhaps, but not Scooby-Doo as many would have you think. And the reason they're all scared? The mysterious pony of shadows that supposedly is made up from the leftover magic since the castle's half destruction. Really, where this episode shines is in its camera direction. There's a bunch of new camera tricks and angles being used here, and seeing that all the big major groups are together. Each of the separate tag team dynamics work great here. Rainbow Dash and Applejack's competitive streaks, Rarity's over concern mixed with Fluttershy's over concern, and of course Twilight's control and Spike's, well, kiddish fear work perfectly here under the spooky backdrop. But that's just all it is. It's a spooky backdrop for the traps. Nothing is really expanded upon here. It's falling into one trap to another. It's really a missed opportunity to do something truly unique among the castle walls. Instead of it falling into slapstick jokes and kiddish jump scares, which this episode resorts to. At the end of the episode, though in a rather comical way, the rest of the Harmony 6 meet up and Twilight finally figures out that she's not alone on the castle grounds. Using a rather powerful time spell, she stops her friends from, well, scaring the living daylights out of each other. And through the creepy music of the pipe organ try to discover its mysterious player, who turns out to be none other than Pinkie Pie, who for some odd reason has a strange way of playing the pipe organ. And she also explains that she could only ring the bell for 5 minutes, which is a rather comical flashback, and that she wanted to throw everybody living in the big scary castle party. Typical Pinkie Pie nonsense. But the major addition to the show comes at the end of the episode, when the old-fashioned letter system that we've become accustomed to for the previous 3 seasons before is thrown out for what Hasbro has now, in the modern, coined as the Harmony Journal. Similar to the Journal of the Two Sisters, we'll keep track of all the friendship lessons this season. This one is about not letting your imagination get the best of you when you think something is there that is not. It's a rather simple lesson. It doesn't carry a lot of weight, considering the one that changed the system before Lesson 0 was a more practical and understanding lesson. I would say this is probably the weakest moral in the entire series, but it's not well bad in its execution. But it doesn't save Castle-Mania from being the low end of this season's spectrum. But it is a nice cool down seeing how heavy the season premiere is. But a review is a review, so I have to give Castle-Mania based on what it is, only 2 out of a possible 6. There isn't much rewatchability, plus this episode doesn't really expand on anything past the change in the friendship lesson system. It doesn't expand on the premiere in any significant way, but it also opens up the fact that the castle will end up being restored in the end, but the prop jokes, slapstick, and very simple given plot just doesn't hold enough interest for rewatch. It can be boring a lot to some and an absolute snorefest, although the camera tricks and voice acting work are of course excellent here. It just doesn't hold up after rewatching. Rather unfortunate to see that the castle had plenty of room for great opportunities and not only comedy but adventure. It's really missed out. So, now tomorrow, on the last part of our catch-up, we'll talk about that season premiere. Back when I did my first impressions video that no longer exists, I put this 2-part episode in context and right up there with Return of Harmony as the best season opener. But tomorrow after I rewatch it, will it still be there? We get to the beginning of season 4 and put our new 26 back on proper track tomorrow when we do a proper review of Princess Twilight Sparkle, the season 4 opener. Until then, my fellow equestrians, find peace in your own nirvana. Thanks for watching. And make sure to tune in for each new episode of the new 26 every Saturday morning. This week, the episode Leap of Faith. And make sure to also check out the playlist. I'll have a link in the description for you to reach them all. Make sure to watch them in proper order, kids. That's the way we used to do it back in the day.